And now we're live.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Unreal Engine Twitch live stream.
Oh, wait. I got my wire.
Oh,
I'm
you're
my
all
wire.
wired up. Great. So we started early today, clearly. I'm your host, Community Manager
Yeah.
Chance Ivey, here with
I'm Ray Davis. How's it going?
Mike Fricker.
and Mike Fricker. Yeah, so talking about the much anticipated release of 4.8, which is coming
Which
soon.
is not today, yeah.
No, it's not. But we're going to talk about all the
Not
cool things
today,
that are
but
on their way.
preview will be coming.
Yeah,
Not
we
too
so did
far.
we successfully branched, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We have a build a branch, so.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
So before we dive into all that, we're going to hop into the news and look at the Game Jam results. Shelly, before you cut over, I don't have the blog up yet, so okay, great. So Marketplace release, we're still waiting on the final bits, images and everything to roll up to the servers for the blog post, but we've got advanced dissolve effects by somebody I cannot pronounce. I'm not going to try. I run into this all the time. You want to get it?
No, I'm out.
Okay, great. Impromptu procedural handrails by Impromptu Games, another procedural something
Awesome.
from Joe.
Awesome.
32 seamless materials from Mac Studios. Locker Pack Volume 1 by Game Ready. Realistic Grass 1 by James Yates. I love that it's like Volume 1 or 1 because you know that there's more coming.
Yeah, awesome.
I hope it's like a trilogy and that like Empire's still better.
Wait, did you see the machete order for watching the Star Wars series?
No.
Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, it's great.
All right.
We'll talk about that
Okay,
later.
great. So Weapon Pack Pro M4A1 by Top Digital. Sci-Fi Ambient Music Pack by Taylor Brook Music. And so those should be coming out. If they're not in the launcher now, they should be really, really quick, next day or so, available
Nice.
for everybody to purchase. With that, too, we've also got some updated learning resources. Lauren sent these over. We've got a new intro to editor videos, intro to level design videos. Blueprint quick shots have all been updated for the new workflow. And brand new Gear VR docs. So all you VR people that have been bugging us for those, they're on their way out. So head over to Docs Unreal Engine, do a search for any of that, and you should be able to find anything you need. All right, with that, we
Well,
can go
and
to
ideally they'll show up in the Learn tab in the launcher as well, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting new C++ intro video as well. Look at Lauren did the original one with
Yeah.
Zach, and it was awesome, but a
Well,
lot
that-
of this stuff has changed now.
That was back in like July, wasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
pretty much those sort of still kind of work, but they're not the, we've
Well,
much
we've-
better APIs. and
Yeah,
workflows
exactly. We've
now.
done a lot of work to simplify it and make
Yeah.
it easier to get started, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I know
absolutely.
that they want to update those.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we'll definitely let everybody know when those are ready to go.
Mhm.
That's,
Okay.
there's a lot in the pipe as far as learning resources go. They've got a lot of really cool stuff on its way.
Yep.
All right, to news. Unreal Engine at FMX. So, Ray, you'll be doing the closing keynote?
Both myself and Kim Library will be out at FMX. James Golding's going to be out there as well, talking about
Nice.
game pipelines. So FMX is sort of, it's been described to me as sort of like the SIGGRAPH of Europe. You know, a lot of forward-looking technology companies there. A lot of film guys as well as game engines. So. We're mainly there to talk about VR. I think we've seen a lot of really cool shit happening with Unreal and VR space, and there's that that convergence point between film and games is finally actually happening, and
Yep.
so it'll be interesting to get up and talk and hear other people talking about this. So that's a couple weeks out, I believe. Yeah.
Cool. And then next up, we've got marketplace items on sale. So there's
Oh, the promotion this week. Awesome.
20% off the Sci-Fi Hallways,
Cool.
20% off of C Media Solutions material pack,
Yep.
and the 50
Oh,
plus
wow.
vector particle pack 30% off from W3 Studios. So there's a lot of stuff in that
Yeah,
pack.
it's awesome.
I bought it this weekend.
Yeah. I still haven't delved into like GPU particles. They seem so awesome, but I feel like there's some talent necessary to actually create that.
Yeah, huge
What?
fan
No,
of.
it's easy to make shit tons of particles.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
super, it's
Okay.
kind of the default thing that happens.
I don't know. Every time I go into Cascade, I end up with nothing.
GPU particles are going to be like the God Ray of UE3. That was kind of everywhere. We'll have those everywhere.
No. Colored lighting. That
Colored
was the real
lighting.
savior back in the day. Yeah, made
Yeah.
everything interesting.
So yeah, definitely go pick those up today. They are on sale.
Yep.
Support
absolutely.
those sellers.
Cool.
Unreal happenings in Finland and Sweden this week. So if you're in the Nordics, Short is going to be Hornets. He's going to be making the rounds there.
Cool.
There's a gathering at the Turku IGDA and the Swedish Game Awards. You can find out more info on our blog, which I believe Alexander is dropping into the chat because he's awesome that way.
Awesome. Isn't there the Nordic conference coming up soon as well?
Yes, but I don't have the details. on
Oh,
it.
maybe Chance should have the details on those.
Maybe I should
Yeah.
prepare more.
Okay. Somebody call Amber. Amber, can we get the details, please?
Yeah, if you're watching.
Yes. The off chance.
All right. let's see what we got here next. Oh yeah, so the Game Jam T-shirt design competition that we kicked off right before GDC. We've actually got the results.
Oh, the
were
winners?
great. We've got the winner. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll on down here until we find it.
Whoa.
There's all kinds of yeah.
That was intense.
There were a number of inside jokes like the plaid.
Yeah, I like that. The platypus, great job.
Awesome.
Aw.
And those,
Little Seattle
kitty
represent
plaid.
there. Yeah.
Dang straight. There's a bunch of blueprint nodes.
Some guy being serious.
Yeah, there's the plaid potato in the grass field, and then breaking a jar of jam.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorites down here was the. Let's see if I can find it. Number of different.
This
designs
reminds me of
there.
the old gold chain Cliffy used to have with the big giant Unreal logo on it.
Yeah. Where is it? I'm waiting for. Maybe on page 2. I'll try to get to this really quick.
Oh, finalist.
I just wanted to call this out. One of the things, if you've played any of the Game Jam games, you'll notice a trend. And I know Michael Aller has picked up on the trend since he plays every single one of them. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. Windows No Editor. No for Game of the Year.
Nice.
So that was pretty funny. I know. I just kept telling him, I was like, yeah, the best game I've played so far in the Game Jam is Windows No Editor. And so 2 jams ago, somebody made
Awesome.
Windows No Editor 2 Electric Boogaloo was the name of the game. Anyway.
Clever,
all right.
clever. Is,
So with
is
that-
that the theme of our next game jam? Windows No Editor?
Shh, don't.
Damn, I
don't
ruined it.
ruin it. I know. I have to kick it back a few more months so people forget. All right. So real quick, on to the winner. We actually chose Fighter
Awesome.
5347, which is Phillips'
Awesome.
design, and this is the vector art that's going to go on the shirts. I know I'm like 6 months behind on getting these out to you, so you should expect an email from me for addresses, sizes, and all that greatness. We're
In
gonna
another
be-
6 months.
Yeah, we'll be putting these to print. Hopefully, on the anniversary of your winning,
Yes.
you will receive it.
Wait, is that
apparel.
the 1 year or the
No
10 year?
sooner.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends. It depends on how awesome your game was.
Okay.
It
Oh,
increases
okay.
or decreases
Subjective
magnitude.
winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So congratulations, Philip.
That's great.
Really, really great
We,
shirt.
we should do some actual jam experiments.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I've never made jam. Have you made jam? And a game
yeah,
jam.
yeah, I have. I'm
I-
from Texas. That's all we do there. That's big
Oh,
jams.
I didn't know Texas was known for its jams.
Just the state fair. There's like big jam competitions. I have multiple friends that win. I don't know why I'm talking about that. All right. So anyway, congratulations.
off track again.
Congratulations, Philip. We will be putting your design on our T-shirts.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right.
I want a T-shirt.
So with that, we will hop over to the results for the Unreal Engine Game Jam, which was don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Awesome.
So we moved over to a new submission and voting process. We've got some really great feedback on it. We'll be acting on that for the next jam for sure. But we got 18 great submissions that rolled in. A lot more 2D submissions.
Awesome.
2D games this time, which is a little surprising. So I'm going to close this out
Okay.
and hop on to, let me see if I can get these. I can barely read that. I want to start with this first one. Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Oh, I might have to have you drive, Mike.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh,
Wait, I do need the keyboard. Oh, I was wrong. Everything is wrong.
this is why we need 2 keyboards and 2 mice.
Then we'd be like walking over each other, like you said. All right, Shelly to the monitor. Dun, dun, dun. So this is Chance's Egg Masquerade. Why am I in everything?
What? Yeah. Why is your name on it?
Because it's I picked up the jam, and so it says.
Oh, that's
Chance's-
cool.
Yes.
I'm cool with it as long as it's
Yeah.
somehow deprecating.
No, so this is Scorched Interactive.
Okay.
The first one we've got here.
Okay.
So this is it's a tower defense game.
Oh.
And these are
Kick-ass.
my eggs down here, and there's going to be some other rabbits that come to steal them. I guess that's me. Is that me? Plaid shirt?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Plaid shirt?
Plaid shirt.
Oh yeah, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place a couple
some,
here.
some twitchy ear movement there. What's going on?
Well, you know me, I'm just a ball of nervous energy, pretty much all the time. I think that's kind of represented by me. All right, so basically you drop down your turrets.
Egg launcher, flame gun, and some kind of what launcher? Something launcher? Peep launcher?
Yeah, peep launcher.
Oh, yeah, of
peeps.
course.
All right,
Peeps.
so enter to start wave. There we go. All right.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
So
what
it goes
just
to
happened?
night.
Got
And
all
then-
serious.
Yeah.
Is this a night or?
It was so bubbly.
Most people don't know this, but most tower defense games actually happen behind the scenes as a raid.
Oh, okay. So he's really dancing. He's not twitching.
Yeah.
Cool. Where are the dudes?
Oh, they'll come. Don't worry.
Oh.
That's the first one. He's gonna get murderized.
Dang.
Wait,
oh.
what are the creeps? What?
There
Oh,
are the
they're-
rabbits.
oh, the
Yeah,
rabbits.
That's
It
Ray.
was-
That was Ray Davis. That was Mike Fricker.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. That's not Shelly. Shelly would never steal my eggs.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll catch the video after we go through the highlights.
Cool.
Got a lot to talk about today, so let's try to get to it. Anyway,
I like the basket weave. That's nice attention to detail.
Yeah, I know the whole scene is themed that way. It's pretty nice.
There.
All right, and then enter night. All right.
In night.
Yep, boom. So then we move on to wave 2.
Mhm.
My basket has moved.
Oh, I
So-
see.
That's cool. I like the little mini map thing too.
Yeah, really nice. It's kind of fully featured for a 3-day jam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead
Cool.
and nuke that guy. Cool, congratulations, Scorched Interactive. And let's see, egg delivery by the Cheese Dragon is number 2. These people know me too well.
Cheese dragon?
I am both a cheese dragon and a regular dragon. And a bunny.
And a bunny. Okay.
All right, so this one, oh, I lost.
Oh, we
I
need to
want
switch the
focus.
feed. There we go.
Good. There we go. All right. So this one, I've got to put baskets down,
Oh, interesting.
and then I have to put eggs into the baskets.
And you got to rely on physics?
Yes.
Oh,
It is very difficult.
that looks fun.
But the cool thing is I'm supposed to put all these eggs not in the same basket.
Right, yeah, you got to place at least
So
X baskets.
that's not an ideal basket position.
You got this. You got this.
Oh, by the way,
Ah.
these were all voted on by the community this time, and we might do a hybrid voting system based on the feedback next time. So these are
What,
ones that you guys have chosen.
You think your votes are better than the community's?
No, that's why I gave it to them. 'Cause my
Oh,
votes
I
aren't
see.
worth anything.
I got you.
Oh
This-
gosh.
This is pretty hilarious though, watching
Okay.
you fail.
No,
Looks
you
really
don't.
good.
You don't know how bad it gets. Are you ready? All right, now I'm gonna drive.
Oh, you got.
You need analog control for this, I think.
Oh god. Is it like how many you can get to the finish line?
I think something like that.
This is pretty awesome.
This is where it all goes. It kind of goes to hell.
Whoa.
Right?
Aw.
Fail.
Awesome. Oh, so good.
Was there a safer route that you could have taken? You just dump off
My
it?
middle name is not anywhere close to safe. So
It's
anyway,
fail.
So
Yeah.
yeah. My middle name is certainly fail.
Chance fail. Okay.
All right, and the last one we've got here is one of the 2D games. All right. Don't take focus. No. Come on. There we go. Okay, great. So this is Eggman Jam by Cody Minat. And you are this little egg farmer.
Yeah, nice art style.
Yeah, I
Pretty
like,
good
really like the
look to it.
rain and the effects in the 2D, right?
Yep.
Like,
Oh,
cra-
jeez.
Oh gosh.
What did you
It's
do?
now I've fallen into something different.
Oh,
So
that's
this
cool.
one, you're not supposed to get eggs. So I have 5 up there in the corner, and I'm not supposed to touch any. If I touch any, I collect them.
Oh crap.
So I got one. Oh gosh.
Oh, two.
Kind
Come
of
on,
an
really?
avoider game. Yeah, I'm really not good at video games.
Can you? Oh, you can walk on water. Cool. Oh. Well.
All right, let's see how far. I got 3. Oh. What do I don't know. I don't know what to
You
do
sure?
now.
You might want to pick up eggs. I don't
No,
know.
you lost.
Aw.
See?
Oh.
Could you fall off and it restarts? Come on.
Yeah, that's how you launch back in.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Actually, it takes you back to menu, and then you go again.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
So, here we
Can you climb up those
go.
things?
Yeah.
The vines?
Oh, maybe that's why. I couldn't climb up the vine when I tried, but I can climb these platforms, and maybe just try to avoid the eggs on the platforms.
So do you score for how far you get with
Ah.
getting 5 eggs?
There's no real scoring.
Oh.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's just the prestige if you make it past the whole course.
Yes.
Also,
So don't put all your eggs in one basket,
Mhm.
which is
That's cool.
accurately named Eggman Jam. That's an Eggman. All right. It's
Yeah,
really cool
that's
stuff.
good.
Shelly, let's cut over to the video so we can take a look at all the great submissions this last time. During that, I will pass
Oh,
you the controls.
nice.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do a live editor demo today. Oh,
oh, egg scrambler.
cool.
Awesome. Whoa.
Nice.
Chippy
Whoa.
bunny on a trampoline.
What the?
It's egg related.
Inspired by eggs, yes. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
What is going
That
on
one's
here?
super trippy. This one is really difficult because you have to change your
Ah.
trajectory and move. You don't know where they're going to jump down to.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Another tower defense.
Cool.
Egg defender. I don't know why I sing a lot today. This is my first failed attempt. I'm just eating it off this thing.
That game is hilarious.
A war. Oh, kick ass.
Look at those troops.
Angry eggs.
This is.
Was that you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh wow, that
This
looks
is
great.
another really great one. You're having to catch the eggs.
What is going on? Oh my god. Oops.
And this one's simple,
Oh.
basic art, but then I
Oh,
caught that
Jesus.
guy and boom.
Oh god.
There's a lot of there's so much great comedic physics in this
Yeah.
jam.
This is awesome. What? Eggfish? Fish
You're
egg?
you're avoiding
Oh. Yes. Cool.
classic catching of egg.
Yep.
By the way, a rolling egg and physics do not make good together.
No, that sounds awesome.
Jeez, awesome.
That one is like a Math Blaster type deal.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, nice work.
That's impressive. Yeah.
So
These are getting
thanks,
good.
yeah, thanks everyone for all the great submissions. We'll probably be announcing the May one in the time frame next week or the week after. But heads up, it's going to kick off on the 14th. I'll just let you know now.
Okay.
So with that, yeah, let's hop into the meat of the.
Do we want to talk about
presentation.
4.8?
Talk about 4.8 a little bit.
wait.
And I'm gonna.
Is that what we're talking about?
What?
today?
Oh,
Is
Oh, you
4.8?
forgot to tell
that's what I
us.
prepared for.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
good.
Oh, good.
So yeah, 4.8. We've just started the branching process, which means previews. I don't know. I believe we might have one coming next week. I don't know.
I actually don't know if it's scheduled for next
Yeah.
week or the week after, but I would expect within the next
Yeah,
2 weeks.
basically the process is we branch, and then once we get like the first reasonably stable version of that, loosely defined stable in that, because there's a lot going into the build and a lot of things for us to really dig in and test. So, I guess one of the biggest things is rolling out a GDC. Or actually, did you want to start there, or you got something else you want to do live editor?
Oh, go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the process to build the Boy and His Kite content for GDC and the large world effort, there was a lot that we got into 4.7, but there was also quite a bit that didn't quite make the cut. So, and there were some things too that I think the team rolling out a GDC, which was a little bit of madness, wanted some time to clean it up and maybe make it a little more usable. So, like especially the foliage system, right? Like that's
Yeah.
come a long ways.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually surprised too when I was thinking about, wow, it's all in 4.8, and like just realized, wow, we did so much leading up to GDC, and then we released 4.7 almost around the same time.
Mhm.
But like a lot of stuff that we were building didn't make it into 4.7. But like we didn't really, we were so busy we didn't have a chance to kind of advertise a lot of that cool stuff
Yep,
we were
yep.
doing. And plus, we wanted the large world demo to be a surprise, so we weren't showing screenshots of that on the features preview
Yeah.
forum posts or anything like that. So kind of like accumulated a lot of pretty cool stuff for 4.8, I think.
Yeah, no, and I think also one of the things we really wanted to focus on, or we have been focusing on, is obviously stability. We did several hot fixes, really trying to get us to a place that we're happy with in stability and number of crashes. Still our ultimate goal is near zero crashes that we can at least be responsible for. But also some great just fundamental performance work, and not just editor performance, but like streaming performance, runtime, rendering across the board, right?
Yeah, I feel like with the team for 4.8, like the whole team was super excited to have kind of like this period where they can really think about tying up loose ends and stabilizing, kind of like dealing with some nitpicky good suggestion feedback from the forums and nitpicky feedback from our guys and girls. So just getting that stuff going, the team was really happy to be able to work on that stuff for 4.8. I think you'll see like a lot of like nice little improvements. I also want to mention too, before we go and show off some stuff, on the GitHub side, this build was, we have kind of a larger span here, larger time period between, say 4.6 and 4.7, but we 176 community contributions to the engine went into 4.8 so far. We might get a few more in, but 176, that's pretty awesome.
That's
And
huge,
and over 60 of those were features. Like these aren't like just spot typo bug fixes. A lot of these are really awesome improvements. And we're starting to see some changes now that have like sort of more of a front-facing UI surface area, right? Like in 4.7 we had the awesome Git plugin, and we just like Nolan just integrated yesterday the plugin creation wizard.
Yep.
That has like quite a good amount of UI, and so pretty awesome to see all this stuff going in.
Yep.
We have
Plugin
like
creation wizard.
yes, just like basically file, new plugin, and make
Wow.
a plugin with some basic example.
Yeah.
So it's like a starting place, right?
It's a skeleton up for you at least, which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, because otherwise that stuff can be a bit intimidating to figure out where the hell you even start, right?
Yeah, just kind of figuring out where all the files go.
Yeah.
We have a document on it, but yeah, if you tried it, like it's a little
Buttons
bit.
that do the stuff that the document tells you to is actually pretty nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
Okay.
so a lot of great stuff from the community. So thank you very much
Yeah,
for the community. Seems like I don't know, it's thriving right now, so I'm happy about that.
Well, on that note, one thing that we're really focusing on, hopefully going to land in time for 4.8, maybe a little bit after the official release, but proper support for code plugins and being able to sell them or distribute them in our marketplace. We've had some code plugins so far, but they've been very manual, where we link you off to some other thing, and so we've worked out the pipeline of how we can actually get these in. There's still a lot for us to, I think, ultimately figure out, or like how we handle version updates and what that looks like. So we'll probably be soliciting a lot of feedback from the community and developers. But that'll be huge, right? Because I know,
definitely,
especially coming out of GDC, the number of people have been reaching out to us of like, hey, how do we get our stuff into Unreal? I'm like, oh God, talk to this engineer. Like, let's figure this out, right? So.
Yeah, that's great. I talked to a lot of people about it. There's a huge interest there, and not just for people that are building plugins now, but getting plugins that others have already built, right?
Yep.
Like, we've got the Leap that's currently in our build, but like grabbing others that are out there.
Yeah. Like it helps us clean up the integrations with their existing people like Leap and SpeedTree, Algorithm, they call that. Like a huge number of plugins on the mobile side, for example. Around like advertising and social analytics.
Yep.
There's a ton of existing great pieces of software out there, and we'll be able to easily make those available to UE4 developers now, which is awesome.
I just put up on the screen real quick, but if you guys haven't seen, if you're interested in making plugins and you haven't seen
Shelley's going to switch us over.
Mr. Nolan's excellent extending the editor Twitch stream he did. This was, I think in January he did this.
This is Twitch live stream ception.
Yeah, we're going from Twitch to Twitch.
Can we do another level deep? Yeah.
He would require him to show us on there.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate feedback loop.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're interested in making editor plugin, totally got to watch this. It's an awesome demonstration of kind of like just, you can pretty much do everything in a plugin in Unreal. There's very little masked off. The interface that you used to build the plugin features is the same kind of interface that we use to build the built-in features.
Yeah.
There's not really, it's constantly dog-fooded.
Well, yeah, I mean, even some of our discussions of how we can better modularize some parts of the engine is like, well, yeah, can it be a plugin, right? Can we make it, something as easy as that?
Definitely, yeah.
So that abstracting parts of engine into a plugin, so it's not always.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big pieces of feedback we're keenly aware of and is high on our radar is how do we make sure that you're only paying for the parts of the engine you actually are using in your project, right? Especially when you're looking at web deployment or mobile deployment. We don't have it all figured out yet, but it is definitely an area that we're focusing in. So
probably a quick disclaimer on that. We wouldn't be pulling any of our engine features out and selling them as a plugin. They would always be.
Oh, God, no. God,
just making sure there's, I want to clarify.
No. Sorry, yeah. Like, we always believe that you should know, like, Unreal Engine out of the box, what you download should have everything you need, right? Just like we're not in the business of like stripping things out or anything like that.
Yep.
It's much more of like, hey, if you're making a more casual 2D puzzler, for example, you're not maybe need crazy physics solver 3000. So being able to make sure that code isn't even compiled into your game is a great option to have, right?
Yep. It's about like kind of customizing the engine and editor to get the lean and mean, feature set that you need for your particular product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you mentioned foliage. I was gonna jump in and show like just a few things. Probably poorly, but just kind of show like this is a 4.8, the current state of kind of 4.8, and just kind of show some of the stuff that the guys have put together for the foliage system. Actually, I'm going to go and show the grass stuff first. So 4.8 has a cool grass renderer, and we used it in the demo. If you saw the kite demo, we had it there, but it wasn't in 4.7, came in too late. But so I'm going to show you kind of how you quickly throw this on it. So I have the advanced vehicle template here just because I had a landscape that was kind of already built. It's kind of ugly, but it's fine. So I'm going to show you. So I'll just go and in Content Browser, I'll make a new landscape grass type. And this is kind of like the description of what you want your grass to look like. You kind of open this up, and it has some properties about like how the grass works, like the density, some jitter stuff. There's some LRD options, but basically it needs a mesh. That's the most important thing. We'll just make it look like a What do you guys want? Cube?
Bowling ball.
Bowling ball. Is there a bowling ball here?
Uh,
A pole. I'll just use cube.
I just
for
thought
now.
about the most uncomfortable thing to walk on, and bowling ball was pretty high on my list.
Cube is pretty bad. Let's just use. Okay, so anyways, made my grass type. That's fine. So select this existing landscape. You could use this with any landscape. It already has a landscape material that blends between two textures. I want to just go and find that sucker and open it. And this material is just kind of your normal blend between desert and track based off some like painted mask.
Normal or something. Yeah.
So how do you add, so this is the cool thing about the grass system. The grass system is very material based, so you can control precisely where you want grass to happen based off your material. So you actually drop in this kind of like landscape grass output node. Whoa. And this is kind of like this weird kind of augmented thing where this is actually part of your material and you're feeding in, it's like an optional thing, right? That got added on now. And you can tell, hey, this is the percentage of grass. Yeah, it's the percentage of grass you want at any pixel on your terrain, right? So you can just say like how much. It's asking for a density amount, right? So we'll just do something like before I go hook it up, when I select it, you can see it has some options. This is important because I did this earlier today, and I totally forgot this part. It didn't work too well. So you got to set this up. You tell it which grass type you want here, and you can give it a name or whatever. But the most important thing is you hook it up to that thing you just made, not to your grass type.
Right.
Once you have that hooked up, that's all you really have to do. You just got to plug in something to it and recompile your material. So we'll plug in checker pattern. So let's see, like, and then give it some UVs. For UVs, we want like world space. We'll use a world position XY. So the 2D world position will feed into the checker pattern, and that will feed into how much grass to make. And then we'll scale this up because the default I think is 1 meter, and that's pretty small. So we'll try constant and say, oh, every whatever 1,000, every 10 meters or something. So hit apply. See if I'm not sure if I did everything right, but so the material's compiling. It's done compiling. Hopefully we'll see the grass system kick in.
Compiling.
Ta-da! So now we have cube grass. You can see like it draws pretty darn far out too. It can deal with a lot of grass.
That's awesome, yeah.
You can use way more than grass.
Hey.
Oh yeah, it's pretty awesome, right?
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's not just grass. It's ground clutter.
Yeah.
It's anything, any kind of like frill kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? And you can just cover the whole terrain with it. It's
You
awesome.
can almost like stylize your game. Like
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, guess what every one of my projects is going to look
exactly.
like?
like that.
Checkered meshes.
So you can see too, it has this kind of interesting LED. So you can, I don't know if the cube has any LEDs, it probably doesn't, but if it had LEDs.
Yeah, you could do the smart blending between them, right?
Yeah, it will automatically cross dissolve between the LEDs.
Awesome.
You kind of see in the distance how they fade out.
Yeah.
I'm just zooming in.
Yeah,
you can see it does this like a nice dissolve.
Yeah. Cool.
And
That's great.
So that's not, I didn't really go into any of the options of it, but it's pretty simple to use. And you can see just like what you can tweak here is, you know, you have some basic options.
Does this only work on terrain? This is something built for terrain?
It's built for landscape right now. Yeah. That's totally an obvious next step. It's like, how do I get this on everything?
Right?
Yeah, but
Cool.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a landscape grass type. So like, I think what we need is not like just general grass types that you can put on other things.
Right.
But for now, it's terrain. Okay. Other thing I want to show is the procedural object placement stuff. Let me see. Let me actually just reload. I'm trying to think. It might just. Who cares? Let's leave the grass here. Beautiful box grass. So this stuff is really super new to me. Actually, oh crap! You know what? We have to turn this on. It's still experimental.
Experimental, yeah.
This means we'll have to restart.
Hopefully everybody is familiar with this editor menu by now.
So in 4.8, we're probably going to keep this feature experimental because it needs a little bit more love. We've been working on it, but it's still totally useful. It's more like we need some more UI polish to bring it up to code. But if you need to enable it, go to experimental in your editor preferences, and then click procedural foliage. I'm not sure. Probably have to restart for that. I'm not positive. Let's try it anyways to see if it works. And that will unlock some new asset types that you can create. And so under here, you'll see, oh yeah, cool, that worked. So you'll see this new cool thing called procedural foliage spawner. And this thing's like it's like a object that you can kind of just drag into the world. I don't know if I can see it very well. I think it's just small.
Or it just doesn't have a mesh yet.
Oh, I think I was in game mode.
Okay.
So it's a volume. It's like a box.
Oh, I see.
So you can see this is kind of the area that I want my procedural foliage to spawn at. So let's go and just make this box real big. I'm just gonna hide the grass for now so that we don't mix the two.
Well, it can be like pyramids versus cubes, man.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Okay, we'll leave the grass one. So I have a volume that's kind of covering like a piece of terrain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my spawner. Right now it doesn't know what to spawn because I didn't hook anything up to it. So we're going to define what to spawn. So we go to add new, and then we're going to say a foliage type. And the foliage type just defines kind of what your foliage looks like. It's kind of a normal landscape feature. And in here, we choose kind of what it looks like. What do you guys want? Let's do something different this time. Do we have any?
Can we do lamps? Do we have lamps?
We got starter content, so we got lamps, ceiling lamps.
Wall lamp.
Wall lamp? Okay, wall lamp.
Okay, that's important. Okay, so I'll get back to this stuff here, but that defines kind of what your foliage, how your foliage is going to work. And then, okay, you probably could have predicted this, but we select your foliage spawner in the level, which I have them already selected, and then dum-da-dum-da-dum. Where is my foliage type? Am I not seeing it?
Is it? Do you need to add the component?
No, I don't think so. It should just be in here. Maybe I have it backwards. No, that looks alright. Just looking for where to hook this up. Maybe I have to do it through the landscape panel. Hold on. Let's try this. I've only done this once before, and it was a few days ago. Foliage. Oh yeah, probably here.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool. Got our foliage type.
We're compiling shaders now.
Yep. I wonder actually if it's just so.
The density that we need as well.
Probably it's just going to default to like a crap ton.
Yeah, that's like.
So okay, hold on. Let me just once this is done compiling. For some reason I'm not seeing the selection queue on stuff.
Simulation generate?
Yeah, what I was looking for is this to not be grayed out. It's like, what did I not set up here? Physics.
Disclaimer too, this is
Oh yeah.
very
Like I said, I've just learned this, but I want to show it because
very new.
I thought it'd be fun to see this finally. Yeah, where do we hook this up at? We'll figure it out.
Oh, double click.
No, that doesn't seem right.
Go back. Is your thing on now? Oh.
Yeah, but you don't have to paint this. That's the whole idea. It's procedural.
Oh, right.
So this would be if I was just going to paint down lamps.
Right.
I could get lamps. That's not a problem. But
anybody can do lamps.
yeah, it's not
amateurs. I can have you a lamp by this afternoon.
Totally. Hold on, I think I'm missing something here.
We're gonna hear Ori running down here in a second. Just click the
That'd be
button over here.
Yeah.
I know.
You should have put the Ori flare.
Yeah.
No, I think I got it all right.
Somebody on the chat is saying you need a static mesh procedural foliage blueprint object.
What? No.
Oh, is this possibly because we didn't
I don't think so. I've done this
restart
before.
the editor as well?
Oh,
there might
After
be
you
some.
turn the experimental on.
Yeah, there might be some features
yeah,
not
you
enabled.
might be right. Yeah, what I'm looking for is the hookup for the foliage type to the spawner. And it's just like...
It's something that's in the foliage type itself, and you use the spawner as a reference point.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll restart and we'll see if it appears. But the idea is this: once you have it hooked up, it's cool. You can just tweak the procedural settings that appear inside your foliage type under the new procedural section. Some of these were visible in 4.7 and just kind of disabled.
Yep.
And it's got all kinds of cool stuff. It actually runs like a little simulation.
Of how those plants would actually grow and disperse.
Yeah, and the simulation is fairly efficient, but it can get expensive if you have a lot going on. And that's where like this system has like a tiling kind of system in it, where you can generate a simulation for a specific tile, and you can reuse that tile all over the place.
Yeah.
Because generally people don't notice too much if you have like.
Well, if you have a big enough sample size or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Cool.
It's more important to have faster iteration. But so once you have this set up, you'd be clicking the resimulate button, and that would regrow your trees or replace your lamps. and you can reseed it and control how the tiling works and whatnot.
So
let's see if I can.
you reload. All right.
I'll try and reload.
So while you're doing that, we can talk about some of the other things. As part of the GDC content demo, we also built a new tone mapper, which is built on Filmic standards there. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually this is a cool thing I just learned today. Nick was telling me the new tone mapper is based off of or the goal is for it to be based off of the Academy of Filmmaking. Their standards for just tone mapping in film composition. So like, they're trying to solve the problem where they have all kinds of different digital effects houses and all kinds of
They want
people.
to standardize it, right?
Yeah, but movies are made of compositing all kinds of different stuff together.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I knew they were gonna.
There he is. There he
Or
is.
just did it.
Or he saw our flare.
Yeah. Or he saw my demonstration.
Okay.
Someone came asking me.
Ori, can you make it work for
I
us?
just did a procedural foliage demo, but not sure I did it right.
Neither of us can.
Oh yeah.
All
Did
right,
you see what I missed? Did I miss
All right,
something?
let's just do it real quick.
While it's loading.
I love that. You guys just drop in.
All right, we have a special guest.
Okay.
Or two.
All right, Ori, take a seat.
Ori and Dan, welcome.
I don't know if you'll fit on camera.
All right.
Hey,
Y'all
Ori
can-
and
y'all can
Dan.
cozy up if you want to.
All right, we're doubling up.
All right, so I got my, ignore the grass all over. These is my checker grass. So we got foliage spawner. And I got my foliage type, and it's got an object hooked up to it, or mesh hooked up to it. And this guy's grayed out. I was having trouble. I forgot how I associate the landscape, or the foliage type with my spawner.
Okay.
Just open the spawner. Just double click the.
Yeah, that's the properties for it here, though, right?
No, that's the volume.
Oh,
So the asset.
this guy.
Right there, exactly.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Ah.
cool. All right, so
It was there the whole time.
everyone on the stream, the asset I created, and I created and dragged it dropped right into the level.
Yeah.
But
So it makes the volume for you.
yeah,
Right.
before you do that, go
got it.
here and choose your type.
Ah.
So
That's what I
the-
missed.
And now we can go simulate.
So the volume is on construct.
Okay, so click
First
the
thing.
button. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, they appear. They're small.
Need more density.
Well, they're small lamps. There's actually quite a few lamps here.
There you go.
Let's see.
I love
Okay, so
that.
how do we make tons of lamps?
So then you go to your foliage type, right? That's
Right,
where the
density.
density settings were.
Wonder if we can get more people in the room.
We probably could.
Yeah.
What,
We
what are
totally
we going to
can.
demo next, Mike? Should we?
Did you
Night-
find something that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Can we
We're
get
gonna show the HLOD system.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
next.
yeah,
What's the best thing to
hi-
change here?
Hierarchical LOD system,
Do you
yes.
want- what do you want?
More.
Just make them all
And,
bigger.
I don't know, like bigger initial
What-
density.
Lower the collision shade.
Oh yeah, here we go. Density.
Right.
There. Oh.
What are you using for their collision shade radius? Yeah, it's probably really big.
Oh, so you're. I don't know if Shelly, can they hear Ori and Dan on the stream?
Barely.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Just picking up through your mic.
so
Do we? Oh, we special
uh-oh.
hand mic.
cool. Ori was saying check the collision settings because the system uses.
It just uses like cylinders under the hood.
Yep.
So it might be, even though the
always a
mesh
party.
appears very small, the cylinder might be quite large.
Right. So our lamp's collision is going to be used. The collision cylinder is going to be used to avoid things from overlapping.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can see
So the
that
size of
the
it.
size in there
Yep.
is
Way smaller than 100.
Yeah.
yeah. So you probably want to change your radius to be something like 20.
Yep.
And then that. Okay. Cool.
So that would be in the foliage type.
It's right there. Yeah. Yeah.
I got it.
Collision radius.
Procedure.
Just.
Oh yeah. There we go.
And you want to change
I
the
wonder how
shade
many of
radius
us
as
can
well.
point.
Oh.
What's the difference
do
between
we need
collision and
to?
shade?
Oh,
I
wait.
just passed it.
So the idea is that some things can grow in the shade. So for example, plants
There we
Ah.
go.
will
Nice
grow.
work.
Yeah, plants will grow in the shade of a tree,
Oh, that's
but
so
you don't want
awesome.
trees growing within the canopy of the trees.
Mhm.
So it gives you kind of like two different circles where you can find what can grow in either.
So let's go.
Yeah,
let's
if you
go
move it,
this
we'll
over.
look.
And then, so move it over to the racetrack. Resimulate.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. So it's not
Awesome.
landscape specific, is
So
it?
it's
No.
just like one gigantic brush, right?
Let's go
Like
drive
that.
on it.
That just populates. Oh, cool. Those are all destructible, right? So you're just gonna plow through 'em.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know
Find
what's
out.
gonna happen. They have collision on them.
No.
No,
Oh.
you don't collision.
No collision. Oh.
You can turn it on, but
Yeah.
But you probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
All right, thanks guys for helping
problem. Hey, appreciate
get
it.
that
We'll take
working.
this one,
Yeah. You may not want to go too far. We'll see how the next demo goes.
Yeah. Actually, the next one, I just kind of want to show where to find stuff, because this feature, I think, will probably also end up experimental. It's not experimental yet; it's actually on by default. But I just want to show it. So we have a hierarchical LOD system in 4.8. The idea is that if you're making a game that's big and you have just tons of objects like we did in the open world demo, or if you're making a game that has like a city.
Yeah, especially for urban environments, right?
Oh yeah, yep. You have this kind of problem you're going to run into where you'll have, you'll want nice LEDs for distant stuff, but maintaining that can be tricky, right? Because you kind of want to be able to just place objects however you want. And
yeah, I mean, especially if you're building a building, like take TGA for example.
Yep.
Like creating that building, it's going to be probably like 1,000 objects just on the front face. And when that thing's 2 miles away, you don't want still 1,000 objects. You want one object that roughly looks, the right shape and size.
You don't need a
color.
fully fleshed out interior for your building beyond like hundreds of meters away. Anyway, so I'm just going to show where you'd start setting this up because I don't have the content on here to demo it. It's a fairly new feature. But you're going to go into your world settings. And in world settings, we have LOD system, which is a new group. And okay, hold on. So this is where you'll turn on. We got to turn on your.
Is it experimental still or something?
I don't think so. This is just I just missed the switch. So you turn on the switch for it. This mouse. And this will enable it for your world. So it's a setting on the whole world, and I'll explain why that is in a second. In the future, we'll probably have a little bit more granular setup, but you'll turn on for your whole world, and that unlocks kind of the settings for this. And this can be fairly powerful. So in your LOD system, you're going to have multiple actual LOD setups, and you can add a bunch of these. And you can think of each one of those as kind of its own kind of its own sort of tier, its own level of the hierarchy, where like the one at the bottom would be the lowest resolution version, and the one at the top would be kind of the first level of simplification that happens. So it's hierarchical, right? So you could think of a city if you were in space looking at the city, it might just be one draw call for the whole city. You want it to be as like simplified as possible, just like one material, one mesh. The idea behind the system is to help do that for you. So you set up these hierarchy levels, and then what we have now is this kind of build LODs option in the build drop-down menu in the main toolbar. And this is kind of a new thing. We haven't exactly figured out if, should this happen automatically every time you do a normal build. Still kind of sorting out the last little bits of it. But if nothing else, you'll have this manual button, and we'll do this. What will happen is we run this algorithm over your whole level. We try to figure out how to cluster things nicely so that we can generate this nice hierarchical LOD. And we look at the meshes. We kind of look at, so it's a pretty cool algorithm. Currently, and this would be very important, what it will do is it will merge meshes, and it will try to merge materials. You can configure that. That's all part of the options here. But it's limited in how it can simplify your mesh for you, because right now it rely on you having LEDs for your meshes created. So if I made a rock mesh, I'd be expected to have like, say, 3 rock LEDs, and the lowest one is just like 30 polys or something like that. It will use your LEDs, and when it's creating like the lowest resolution proxy object, it will use the lowest resolution of all the meshes that end up in that clustered bucket. So that's kind of how the merging works by default, kind of out of the box. It will also go and take your materials and combine them into one material for you, which is actually, that's pretty cool, right? It will rechart your texture, make it, you want it to be one draw call, so it's got to be on the same material. So it will, that will be in 4.8, and that will work.
So there's an interesting question of how will this work with procedural generated levels? Which I think the answer maybe not yet.
You mean like if we use the foliage tool, the procedural foliage?
Or the hierarchical LOD system.
Oh. If your game was completely procedurally made up.
Yeah, if you're creating or placing meshes in real time, then I think we're not quite there yet.
You wouldn't use this system you wouldn't use this system that analyzes a scene and go. You'd probably, if you're procedurally putting together your world, the code that is procedurally generated that you wrote would probably have the best brains possible about how
To remove those
cluster,
objects and
how
cluster,
things
yeah,
should be
yeah.
clustered, right? So
Yeah.
I think programmatically you'd want to hook into the LED system. You'd want to
Yeah.
use the HLOD system, but you'd want to inform it with your own code.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's
so that's
interesting.
definitely like something we should totally make sure that we're extensible toward, right?
Cool.
I don't think that would be a big problem.
All right.
So that's where we're at right now. Totally try it out in the next release. Probably the UI is going to get cleaned up a little bit during the preview phase.
Yep.
And it may become experimental. We'll see. We're going to keep testing it.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting if some of the adventurous folks who want to play with the previews and give us some early feedback so we can see the necessary refinements.
Yep.
Cool. Probably got, what, like another 5 minutes of features and then switch over to Q&A?
Yeah, it's about
Okay.
2:43 now. You gotta get it.
There's going to be a lot. We're probably going to talk about 4.8 for many streams.
Yeah,
I think.
there's
Yeah,
actually-
we might have to hop back on here. in a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff.
So, yeah, more of the rendering stuff. So all the foliage.
We have physically based depth of field. The motion blur has been improved. It's just higher quality.
Mhm.
We added motion vector support for vertex animation. So if you have morph target stuff, it motion blurs correctly now, which is I think is really
nice.
cool
Yeah, yeah.
because that's something that a lot of games don't do too well.
The foliage occlusion, this is part of just being able to do a shit ton of
Yep.
foliage.
That just means that if the foliage system in 4.7
Yep.
was those trees and rocks and whatnot, they weren't occluded by that. If you're sitting in the interior of a building,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
still drawing, and now they won't in 4.8
Oh,
just
nice.
automatically.
Cool.
Something else. Let's see. We'll just skip that one. See if there's anything else.
We'll save
cool.
that one for later.
Yep.
It's pretty cool though, but let's
Yeah.
not tell anybody about it.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, right? Like it's always hard on these. And I thought it'd be fun to show some stuff live, even though it takes
yeah,
longer.
we already mentioned the plugin wizard, right? Yeah.
We mentioned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We have to enable it, so we can't show it too easily. But
Okay.
I mean, we could turn it on if we want to.
Maybe next time.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like Paper 2D has had a ton of improvements.
Yeah, Nolan's been busy, huh?
Yep. Tile map collision authoring. He gave me a list of stuff to talk about. It was like super cool stuff. 2D edit mode, support for multiple textures on a sprite.
Yep.
The sprite extractor tool's been improved. A lot of good mobile improvements for dealing with normal map sprites or just cool stuff like that for Android and iOS.
Cool.
Yeah, so 2D's going good.
Oh, UMG. Awesome.
Yeah. UMG has split screen support in 4.8.
Awesome.
It's actually, I think, really important because
Yeah.
it's one of the biggest
on.
confusion points I've found when I'm getting set up with UIs. Like,
I more importantly, I think the game industry is forgetting how awesome local multiplayer
oh
is.
yeah,
And the more that we can help remind them and make it easy, split
Yeah.
screen is awesome.
I know.
All the best gaming memories, especially when you're a kid, right? Like,
Should that be the next game, James? Couch co-op
heck yeah, man.
required.
I almost dropped an F-bomb on that one.
UMG has the web browser widget. So in 4.7 we added a web browser for Slate, and now that's exposed to UMG. It's kind of the quick and dirty version of it. It's one of those things that it's a web browser, right? So
Yeah.
if it's highly use case specific how you want to customize that. So we gave you a basic web browser control that you can use in on-row motion graphics. Plop that sucker down.
Yeah, that'll make life a lot easier, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Something we should talk about. I think this is really
Ooh,
cool.
Yeah. This is an awesome feature.
Yeah. So the networking. So in 4.7 we talked about network replays. I think it might have been 4.6 we had the first version of it.
Yeah.
But the network team's been doing. It's just been improving like crazy.
yeah,
like
it's-
getting
it's
so good.
A huge focus. It's come a long ways, right? Lots of cool new features now, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So the biggest new thing that I'm aware of, other than they've improved backwards compatibility, so your replays will be less brittle as you change your game and improve your game. You can actually use kind of the old files. It's totally written with caveats, right? Like if you're removing a feature from the game, your old replay file is probably going to look a little strange, but it should work as good as you could expect. But the bigger thing is that scrubbable replays, which I think is really cool for a network replay to do this. What they're doing is they're kind of checkpointing off kind of network state at various intervals. I think it's configurable, and then you can actually scrub these replays and kind of rewind your game and see what happens.
Yeah, I think this is like really powerful. There's a lot of cool ideas that start to come out of this because this isn't just like a video capture of the session, right? This is all the session data. So you can go back, you can scrub back in time, change the camera, look at it from this viewpoint, scrub back to that same point, do a completely different thing, and then, like, can you imagine a game built around this sort of system too? Like you remember Braid? They did all kinds of cool mechanics. It's not quite at that level. I don't want to give that away.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of cool creative things that start to come out of this tech, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's going to be really cool for at least doing high quality replays and debugging even. It has some really cool benefits there. But yeah, so that stuff's been coming along really well. I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Excited to see what everyone does with that.
Oh gosh, we forgot about this.
I know you want to show it.
Blueprint OCD. This is amazing.
We should just show it real quick.
Okay. Just this.
Blueprint OCD.
We're almost to the golden age
I'm just gonna make
of things
this
lining
popping
up.
anything.
The blue age.
So we wanted to show just some of the uses. So basically, you can grab a wire now, hold control, and just kind of grab it and take it.
Uh-huh.
You can just take any wire and you just grab it. It's kind of fun.
Makes it a lot easier. I mean, it seems kind of simple, but just like quickly rerouting nodes and whatnot, not having to find the.
Oh,
little,
yeah.
You're not pixel hunting nearly as much, right?
Yep. And then I think we also.
What about the rewire? Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. So you can double click on these now and drop reroute nodes.
So
Before that was like kind of like
So awesome.
a little
think
bit of
it's
an
great.
extra step.
It goes right in the position you want it to be too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like
So now there's a whole new art form we've just created, which is blueprint wire art.
can we adjust
Can
the
we make
actual
that the next
curve?
game jam, please?
No, there's no tangent. You want tangent handles?
Hey, community,
Yeah.
can we please get a GitHub pull request for tangents on blueprint wire?
the chat is getting a whole bunch of happiness.
No, I'm telling you,
tossed our
Blueprint
way.
OCD, true blueprinters will know what I'm talking about here.
And
This
then
is amazing shit.
another thing, you can alt click on the wire and just kill it. So that's just kind of fun.
That's
Before you have to go
nice.
and do it
Yeah.
on a node.
Right click and break link is.
Yep. You could. I think you could always alt click on that guy. And, maybe not. But now you can do it right on the wire. Just the wire's touchy-feely now. That's good.
Not saying anything, but somebody who may or may not have worked on Kismet may or may have done this functionality a long time ago. I was very happy to see it in Blueprints.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shelley.
Yeah, it's Shelley.
So you're finally happy to see features that
we did a long time. No,
make
it's
features
awesome.
good.
That's the price of progress, right? That's all good. Cool. Any other big ones before we just switch into question mode, or?
Yeah, let's just go into question mode. It's fine. Yep.
Alright.
There's some future kind of stuff that I don't know if we get maybe.
Yeah.
Anything you want to hit there?
Did we touch on sequencer? I saw there was a question about that already.
Yeah, there's a lot in the Q&A that is actually
Okay.
that comes around a lot of stuff we were talking about.
God,
It's
we
just-
wanted to talk about like the future beyond 4.8.
There's so much stuff, right? Like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's do the Q&A and then
yeah,
might
we
lead
can-
into things.
We can maybe hop on another one in a few weeks or something and kind of wrap
Okay.
up some more of this stuff.
Okay.
We got some time, right?
Yeah, I can even Skype in from my travels abroad. Will the recording of gameplay be able to use recorded game? Whoa, this is getting meta.
Did you have questions already?
Oh yeah, if
Paste
sorry,
it
if
out?
you roll it on the document.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Let's start
But
there.
Go,
what was this question? So he's trying to use. Do I understand it? Is he trying to use recorded?
Recording gameplay be able to use to record game sessions, then render cinematic
Oh,
scenes
to
with
burn
it.
them out. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the game data is there, and then you could definitely pipe that out to generate a full rendered movie if you wanted to.
We kind of have that right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys. It's kind of hidden. Shelly, if you can bring up the screen for a sec. It's weird, right? You have to make a matinee to do it, but even if you don't have anything in your matinee, like you don't need to actually make a cinematic. But over here on the toolbar, on the ass end of the toolbar, there's movie button. Create a movie. And this will actually, you set up some properties or whatever, and then when you hit OK, it's actually going to launch your standalone game and just be dumping frames to like, I think it saves them as like.
And then you can put them in any container you want, right?
You import them to any compositing package. And I think actually we added EXR support for this too. I think that happened.
Awesome.
I don't know if it's in this for.
We should totally.
Anyways, so yeah,
maybe
you can already dump movies.
Discoverability of that feature someday.
It shouldn't be in matinee. It should just be like a
top bar or something.
Yeah, it's on the list,
Okay.
but it's there, right?
Cool. All right, so Sequencer. Just tell people where we're at with Sequencer so far, I guess.
It's actually we've been developing, so we've been working on it, especially in the context of UMG, and Frank on the team's been working on it off and on the whole last month. He's been improving the keyframing features, so it actually has some inertia now, and we've been having like really healthy design meetings. I think we've done 4 really big ones just in the last month. So yeah, it's off and running.
I think some clear intentions of there's a lot of workflow with Matinee we're not happy with, so there's some low-hanging fruit there, right? And I think just maybe in the coming weeks we'll have more clarity on the sort of features and some of the timeline of what we expect. But
Yeah. So we're you guys probably know there's a prototype of sequencer in UE4. It's been there for a long time, since the beginning of UE4 or since the beginning of 4.0. Disabled by default.
Yep.
So we're kind of finally going back and looking at that, and we're going to change it quite a bit because like I said, we're in these planning meetings. We're trying to come up with sort of a grander design that fits kind of all of the feedback that we've heard and everything else.
But I think the biggest takeaway is like it's in active development and design, and it's something that I think as we dig in, there's a long list of features, and we're not going to be done with Sequencer in a long time, but we'll have some steady progress, you know, probably with every release, right?
Yep,
But
definitely
with every release. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, at some point we'll definitely share more of the plan as it comes together, and then invite feedback, because you know we'll share the plan before we get. It's a long project, right? So there'll be plenty of opportunity for critique.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Sequencer is like, it is a standalone tool for cinematic and all kinds of stuff, but it is really just a big chunk of functionality throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, it's actually a core feature.
Yeah.
And you know, we're thinking about like how this affects Blueprint land, and like it may have, you know, this may be the new way that you animate components in your Blueprint, not just timelines.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of stuff to figure out there.
Cool. So status of demo recording, we talked about that. Is there a quick update on Hot Reload? Yeah, that's sort of your passion feature there.
4.8 has a bunch of improvements and fixes, and we've realized the Hot Reload, you know, works good for small games. It has not worked super well for big games, and that's kind of what the core team is focused on now. They're taking, and even this week they're working on it, is Hot Reload for big games, kind of, right? And what that means, and just making the iteration times as fast as possible for larger projects. But yeah, it's
cool.
Under constant improvement.
I saw a question in the chat there about VR news, specifically around Vive. I believe
Oh
that's the
yeah,
official
we should
term.
talk about that.
Yeah, so it is.
We also had them on the stream last week, Mike and Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well,
So
just for everybody
we
didn't
talked
catch
about
it.
the support.
It's going in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
So as of 4.8, when it's live, we'll have support for Vive, for all the Oculus kits, Gear VR as well.
Yep.
What else am I forgetting? I think that's it.
Those are
But
the major ones.
all
The
ones.
new Oculus SDK still isn't so the Oculus 0.5 SDK.
Well,
We're trying.
Yeah. So we'll be up to date with the latest. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're waiting on some of Oculus SDK schedules at this point, but
Yeah, but that's the goal for have.
yep. Yeah, it's a little bit of chicken and egg of like we release an engine version and then an SDK update comes, and some things we can hotfix, some things we need to do we need to break binary compatibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still firmly committed to staying up to date with all the VR platforms.
Cool.
Oh, Morpheus, yes, Morpheus is in there. How did we
Yep.
forget Morpheus?
Oh yeah. Morpheus
God,
is
we are terrible people.
definitely in there.
I
I'm
just
sorry,
watched Showdown.
Sony.
I just
Sorry.
watched Showdown on our VR demo Showdown on Morpheus yesterday,
That's
and
fantastic, yeah.
it looked great.
Yeah.
It looked
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah, super. It was like 120 frames a second. It's awesome.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yep.
So we talked about code plugins. Yep, that is
Yep.
definitely coming soon, and we'll have more and more to talk about that as we get closer to the launch date of that.
Someone asked about Niagara and when that's coming, and I don't know. I used it the current version
So-
a few weeks ago, but
Actually, I mean,
it's a lot of work.
So yeah, where we're at is, Olaf has been working on it for quite a while. I think we've got a good foundation in place, is my understanding. And when I say last week, we had basically, I think all of our senior VFX artists in the building all got in the room together and sort of agreed upon, where do we want with this workflow? What kind of features are really important for us for a particle system in the engine? So we've got a clear plan, and we're focusing on that. There is obviously Niagara is available in 4.8 and in some sort of preview capacity. I don't know if it's enabled by default, right?
No, it's not yet. No.
Not by far. So Cascade is still the production FX tool, but I'm sure we'll have more and more to show of that soon too.
Yeah, it still needs a lot of UI love.
Yeah.
But it'll get there.
Yeah, and we're still holding to the asset compatibility between Cascade and Niagara, is my understanding. So if you build something now, it shall work with Niagara.
The current plan is, I think that is the plan. But for a while, they'll just coexist together
Yeah.
happily, right? And you can use both in your project or whatever. They'll get along fine. But then eventually have an upgrade path would be the goal.
Cool. All right. That's another good question for us to look at.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Scrolling. Ooh, man, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a ton this time. We might have to do a mop-up round.
DirectX 12. Maybe we just talk about all our Microsoft stuff real quick. So,
Okay. Windows 10.
Yeah, so basically, Microsoft has been doing a great job with DirectX 12. We're looking to integrate that into mainline. It won't be part of 4.8, is my understanding, because Windows 10 isn't available. DirectX 12 isn't officially available, right?
Yeah, it's not ready yet.
And we're also looking at what it means to have proper support for Windows 10. They have their new UAP platform for deployment. Again, that'll be something coming not specifically in 4.8, but it is in the near future. So we'll definitely make it available in GitHub, especially for those that are doing technical previews and all that kind of stuff.
Yep, I think as early as within the next week, we'll start to see the first changes go into the master branch.
Yep.
for Windows 10 and also Visual Studio 2015 support.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about 2015. Yeah.
Yep. So the current plan, 4.8 will not support 2015, but we think for 4.9 we would.
Yep.
But that's still not fully final yet. We're still talking about it.
Yep.
There might be time to support it still. We'll see.
Yep.
Changes every day.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did hire an audio engineer once upon a time, Aaron McLaren.
Yep.
And he has been hard at work.
He's awesome.
He is
He's
awesome.
just killing it.
Allegedly.
Just like
no.
playing guitar and programming.
Dude, yeah.
Well, isn't that what an audio engineer does? I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I assume.
Yeah, so I don't think now is the time necessarily to talk about our new audio system, but it is something that he is furiously working on, right? So,
Mhm. Yep.
more to come on that.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's see.
All right. There's even more.
Yeah, if you want to, we can probably grab one more and then we can head out.
All right, one more hard hitting, straight to the bone. Improvements to the foliage system. Yes.
We covered that one, I think. Pretty good.
Epic focus on stability. Oh, on that, you saw a series of hot fixes. Those were primarily focused on stability issues, and we plan to, we learned a lot from that. Hopefully 4.8.0 is launching more stable than we were with 4.7, but we will continue to improve on stability there. So.
Someone asked, is light baking used in the kite demo?
No.
It's all dynamic lighting. The only thing that we use distance field. Oh, I didn't talk about that, but
the distance field.
Yeah.
The DFAOH.
Distance field height map GI.
It's
Okay,
getting
there we
very difficult to keep up with all these
Okay,
acronyms.
DFHM GI.
So the distance fields, they're kind of cached as you use the app.
Yep.
So it's not like but there is a little. So the meshes that cast indirect lighting on the terrain need distance fields computed for them. That kind of happens as long as you have the setting enabled in your project called generate distance field meshes that you just turn on for your whole project.
Yeah.
And then on any directional light, I was going to demo this earlier, I totally forgot this one. On your directional light, you turn on cast height field dynamic GI shadows, and make sure that generating distance fields is turned on for the meshes, but they would be by default.
Yeah.
And then you'll see some little progress stuff update in the bottom corner of the editor, and then ta-da, height field GI.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that I can recall that we pre-compute it.
Yep.
And
No,
it's not nothing nearly as heavy as light maps.
No,
There's no light maps in the demo.
no light maps, no gigabytes of light maps, right?
Yep. It was all the time of day was fully dynamic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. We didn't actually show that much time of day in the cinematic, but when we actually release the whole open world content, you guys will be able to see exactly how we set that up.
Yeah, it's fun to fly around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. With that, I know we got to get out of here. So
Cool.
let's see what we got here. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Sorry for Mike's awkward
yeah.
demos. No, that was awesome.
Yeah, thanks
Did the
Ori
best
and
I could.
Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks Ori and Dan for helping in and helping out.
No, I think we should plan for this.
I think it's fun to do live demos because when I'm watching, I like to see the odd
Yeah.
No,
crazy
it's
live
perfect.
Yeah,
demos.
that was fun.
And then Michael Nolan in the chat, thank you. Alexander, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Shelly.
Yeah.
And we will be back. Oh, and of course you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No. Thanks developers.
And
Yeah.
You're awesome.
next week we've got
Especially
Alan.
the game jammers. That was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to kick off May.
Mhm.
Next week on Tuesday, we've got Alan Noon back on to go over his East Coast Games Conference project
Cool.
on Tuesday. And then Thursday, we've got Cannon and Jay Wilbur to go business and
Oh,
legal.
wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds going to be awesome.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.
All right. Cheers.